Okay, I'll do it again. Yippee. Here we go. I learned from a man named Halley. I don't forget his first name. He's the guy that originated Halley's Bible Handbook. Back in the 1920s, this guy read the scriptures, spoke them out loud, read them out loud, until he could actually paraphrase entire chapters of the scriptures, and he just did it over and over and over and over again. And he would do it in public. It was part of, you know, entertainment. He didn't have CDs and stuff. He just repeated them over and over and over again. He shared them with people, and to a point where he could actually tell all the stories of, he could do overviews of all the stories in the scriptures, just like you would, just like you from your heart can tell the stories of your disasters and your triumphs to people to try and help them not go through the crap that you went through, and to share the discoveries, the excellence, the power that you've gotten. So this guy is just repeating the scriptures. He's just repeating them over and over again. And they trot him around and set him up, and he just speaks out this kind of like little overview and this descriptive overview of all these chapters, and flows out these stories. And over the years, like, people start writing these things down and taking notes, and Halley's Bible Handbook is a really cool book. Actually, the most modern versions of it are not as good as the ones from a handful of years ago. I suggest that you get a used copy, because his description of the pathways that happen in the church era and stuff is quite interesting. So, I give up. I mean, there is such a fire of difficulty and transformation on me. I'm sitting here in the room where my father fell, and I'm telling you, I'm rising up, and I'm going to cut everything down that is not part of the sweetness of the thing. Must be, gotta be, have to be. It is our responsibility to truly love and care and tell the stories, and to love and care and serve one another until all of it is on the table, and we can flow and be true and be in honesty with one another. Unless we come to the point where a person doesn't want to be honest with honesty, and then, you know we back off. But there is a wholeness, there is a truth, and there is a responsibility to rejoin and regenerate. You know, in a house church meeting, there was a brother from a house church meeting who made a comment about incest in his own family. And what do when you've got siblings that have had incest in between them? What do? You know what? I mean, he made this comment really funny. This guy, he's like, you buck up and you go on. You're like, don't be stupid. Keep your pants on and move on. We're a family. If you understand, the mechanics and the attacks of the spirit realm, you don't stack up worries and worries and worries and layer all kinds of fears. And I mean, and when it comes right down to it, like, if you've got a family in the house, and like the house is burning down, you're not going to slow down and back up and think, well, because I've had this event in my life, I really need to da 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 realize that it's difficult for me to pick up the phone and call 911 or what have you. I mean, seriously, when the fire comes, when the death edge is coming in, everything cuts to the chase. It is written that every single thing that we do and that we think is going to be exposed to all peoples. And we should be operating as if there's a little circle of children and people that you would be most embarrassed by, observing your every word, your every choice, your every action, and even your every thought. Because we are captains of our thoughts. We are called to become pensive, to rethink our thoughts. That's where the word repent comes from. It means to become pensive again. Think again. Think again and choose differently in line with thoughts that are better than the other action that obviously came from some kind of unwise thought. So I'm just going to repeat the stuff that's in me. over and over and over and over again. And somebody comes along and says, hey, this guy needs help, or if they understand the Eastern, you know, parable of like we all carry a backpack in this life, and if you meet somebody that's got a heavier backpack, you should throw your backpack away and help the one who's carrying the heavier backpack, because each backpack of truth is truly valuable for the whole tribe and all peoples. And there are times when you need to drop what you're doing and assist over here. And I'm just going to keep doing what I do over and over and over again, every single day. And I'm going to do it well. And I'm going to do it better than anybody I've ever seen do it. Because I've seen a vacuous absence of wise and excellent expression and gathering and working and surviving and maintaining. So there. And may it be so until the day that I die. So you got three things. You got a book. You've got an invisible helper. And you have a physical visitor, a flesh and blood visitor. You got a book, a supernatural visitor, and an invisible helpful spirit. 3. A helpful spirit, a supernatural visitor, and a strange and supernatural book that points to the supernatural visitor, who in turn points to the invisible helper. Yehoshua, Jesus, was predicted in 200 to 300 individual predictive points in the Old Testament, the first portion, the predictions and preparations for the supernatural visitor. He, Yehoshua of Nazareth, was predicted. Hundreds of individual points, like a connect-the-dot picture of this guy's life. And he actually said, after he showed all these supernatural powers and people just mobbed him because he could heal anybody. They didn't mob him because he was a fine teacher. They mobbed him because he had power. Power. Displays of supernatural powers of the highest order. And he said, it's better that I go away. It's better that I go away, because if I don't go away, the comforter, the advocate, the helper for you will not come. That's intense. So he goes away, the supernatural, invisible spirit comes, the helper comes. Now, maybe this is all a fairy tale, but I'm telling you, it ain't. So stay tuned. Yippee! Half the song. Ooh, it's out of tune too. It has been a life filled with strife, but I'm not locked up right now. There are people in life imprisonment. It's probably not you, so maybe you should act like it could be and think what you would do. What would you do if you were in life imprisonment and you had 3 days to walk? What would you do? Who would you meet? And how would you talk? Which is to say, all the times that you've been messing around and doing next to nothing and just spinning your wheels and chasing after like fluff and feathers and nothing that doesn't really do stuff for you, cut it out. Do the great thing. Come on, you can do it.